Hi, I'm Chris Wallace from Walnut Hollow, and today we're talking about the HotMarks. We're going to talk about how to use the hot stamps that come inside the tool itself. Inside your HotMarks storage case, you have 8 different stamping points. Some of them are pretty graphic designs. There's a triangle and a circle, a square, a heart, and some of them have a little bit more to them. It's like a little flower, a star, a swirl, and they're all hot stamps that can be used on paper. You can also use them on wood, chipboard, different kinds of things, but you know that paper is very different. So one of the things when you're looking at your paper, it's going to take longer or shorter period of time to actually burn on it. Papers have different fiber contents. Some of them, I'm not sure if it's binders or something that they use in the making of the paper, make it a little glossier, shinier, a little bit more dull looking. Some of them are thicker, thinner. So I'm just pointing out all these different things because sometimes what the kind of paper you use makes a difference as to how the project actually turns out. So you're going to want to try different kinds of paper and find the ones that you like the best to use for your hot stamping. You can even use it on the grunge paper, and that works well on chipboard, on different thicknesses and kinds of paper, mulberry paper, all of that. I have my tool on my tool stand, and I have already turned the switch to on, so it's nice and hot now. And one of the tricks that I've learned with stamping, it's just like with a rubber stamp. You have a foam base that gives you some give when you actually do the stamping, and I found that if I try to hot stamp directly on paper and just put it onto a hard surface, that I don't get as good of a result as if I take it and put it onto some thicknesses of paper. So I have a little stack, a little pad of paper, and I find that if I hot stamp onto the paper and I have a little bit of give, I get a much better stamp. When you put the tool down to actually create the stamp or create the image, I hold the tool so that it's perpendicular to the paper, and I press and I kind of move around on the stamp so that I get the entire image to come off onto the stamp, onto the paper. You want to be careful for things like this, which is like overstamping. Just like when you overstamp with a rubber stamp, you can overstamp with this particular type of stamping, with the hot stamping. So the more you hold it straight up and down, the better it is, and you can create your hot stamp. Now this is a piece of chipboard, and again, I probably don't need to have the pad underneath this because it's a little thicker, but it's nice to have that give, and I can press down and create the design. I'm going to show you on the grunge board how you can burn directly on here, and you don't need to keep the tool down quite as long, because you see here I overburned it, and here I got a much nicer image. So just like with anything, you want to practice on the kind of paper that you're using. You want to practice hot stamping itself just on some scrap papers, and so you get the feel of it. All of the points, the hot stamp points, will be removed with the pliers, and then you want to drop them into a dish, a ceramic dish or a glass dish, and then you can drop it in there so that it doesn't do anything to your work surface, and then you can attach the next point the same way using your pliers, getting it started a little bit, and then making sure that it's nice and tight onto your tool. So that's all about hot stamping with the HotMarks. Thanks for watching. See you next time.